Hey, what's up, guys? Can y'all hear me? What is going on? Can you guys hear me? Put a 1 in the comments if you hear me. Can you hear me? Put a 1 in the comments. No, I'm here. Hello, I'm here. Can you guys hear me? I exist. Let me know. What is going on? What? Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, welcome back. Listen, apparently they shut me down. I told too much. I told too much. I told too much. I told everybody that I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. Here's my employee ID. I told too much and they shut my live down. Y'all, I don't know what was going on. Dark waters. That's what I get for telling all my business on YouTube about me being a federal informant. I literally had to call the FBI and was like, we are working for the same team. Y'all paying me. What y'all talking about? Y'all are paying me extra. Yes, it costs a lot of money for my hair to look this dry. All right, you guys. So let's get into this, all right? Because I really did want, listen, I have a big live scheduled later, but I wanted to tell you guys what actually happened in court today, okay? So what are the things that happened in court today? First of all, Diddy's team once again had us in a nothing burger. They rushed for the sentencing, only to say, yeah, we agree with the government. Let's keep it October 3rd. We agree with the government. Now, again, I rolled my eyes to talk about what was going on. Let me read you a letter really quick, and let me tell you how Diddy's team really tried it. They were begging for fast tracking, but at the end of the day, they are still playing legal maneuvers. And let me just tell you this. I'm gonna need my coworkers, Maureen Comey, and everybody else in that federal thing to come on, step it up. Step it up. Come on. Everybody had time to lick their wounds. Stop letting Diddy's team play in our face, especially with the pretrial sentencing. Now let's get into this, right? I missed you guys too. You guys, I'm going to just go through this very quickly, and then we have a major live scheduled for it later. But let's get into this, right? Okay, so what did they say? They said for sentencing, the parties proposed that the court's original date of October 3rd, okay? Now, I was just like, so what was the point of even requesting an expedited hearing if the sentencing is back by October 3rd? I'll tell you what, our voices were too loud. I said it last time in my life before, like, the devil started playing with my microphone. Let me start keeping attention to the chat. Jamie, thank you so much. And shout out to Tito Tells for looking out. Okay, Tito. What's up, Tito? See, here's the thing, okay? Why did they expedite this? Because they are the legal equivalent of effing playing in somebody's face. This is your face. This is Diddy's team. They are the legal equivalent of playing in somebody's face. But also, why did they expedite it? Because they thought that Diddy is going to be a slow walk. They thought since Diddy got out and he's been vindicated, everyone would be like, yeah, do it. However, that's not what happened. The public outcry, I think Diddy united the country. Whether you're liberal, Democrat, whether you ain't voted since 1995, whether you literally are a voting coalition, whether you are libertarian, whether you are MAGA, everybody thinks that Diddy is guilty. Now, hear me out, okay? It's been a plain in your face week. They just told us that the Epstein list doesn't exist, even though they already released half the Epstein list, or at least a little bit of it a couple of years ago with the flight logs and stuff. Now they're saying that there is no list, even though they told us a year ago there was a list. Same thing, they told us that Sean Diddy Combs was innocent, even though we saw him on camera committing a crime. And it wasn't just the domestic violence. I know some people, right, are acting like domestic violence isn't a crime, but even if you think it isn't, she was being dragged back to a freak off. Diddy admitted it. Mark Agnifilio admitted it. Everybody admitted it. Cassie was being dragged back to a freak off. So where does this come with our voices? I'll tell you what, okay? Okay, listen, I'll tell you what. Our voices were too loud. Diddy's team realizes that after Judge Aaron, okay, locked that whole courtroom down, kept pushing it back because he didn't want the vile filth that supports Diddy because they busy living Diddy lives, complete with DV cases and a little secret boyfriend, right? Again, I don't understand. Being gay is no big deal. Be out, be proud, literally. It's not the gayness that might be turning people off in the undercover. It's the breath. At least I think so, right? And you know a man's in the closet when they start talking about the way women smell. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, right? So, when that happened, they saw the way the judge read Diddy to filth. He was not having it. He was not having it. He ain't take the Diddy payoff. He wasn't having it. So what happened, okay? They know they are in a battle for their lives. And they know that everything that's seen on media, the judge is watching, the judge is listening to, but more importantly, the probation officers are watching and the probation officers are listening. And the people that made the pre-sentencing probation report, which is like a hot or not, do you think this person is a violent thug or not? They are taking notes. Every time a witness comes forward, every time they say, I was there, every time people say, I'm scared, every time they say it's violent, every time you see these trash people out in the street defending them, that all reflects back on Diddy. It all reflects back, which is funny to me that all these people that are literally on their knees begging, can they kiss it for Diddy, begging to be down, Diddy is going to have to really cut ties with the dredges of society that have risen up to uplift him because it is a bad look. And baby, say what you want, especially when it comes to the pre-sentencing report, for a man that has already admit that he is violent, that he is this, baby, that is all that matters. Listen, let's get into this really quickly, okay? So here's the thing. They agreed to take it October 3rd. The defense proposes that the prosecution provide the parties with pre-sentencing litigation reports on or before August 29, 2025. And the defense objections to the pre-sentence report be filed on or before September 5th, and that the government objections to the pre-sentence report be filed on or before September 12th, and that the probation officer, right? Hold on really quick. Hey, what's going on? Oh, it's fine. I'm live now. I'll just jump on at 3. Okay. Okay. No problem. Bye-bye. Okay, so they said that with the pre-sentencing report, they said on September 18th, and the defense's sentencing memorandum be filed on or before September 19th, and that the government's sentencing memorandum be filed on or before September 26th. The government and the probation office do not object to this schedule. Now, hear me out. They said for post-verdict motions, the parties proposed that the defense file any post-verdict motions on or before July 30th, and that the government respond on or before August 20th. And finally, the government requests that it be permitted to submit its summary of offense conduct on or before July 11th, and the defense does not object. Okay, listen. I'm going to need my coworkers to step it up. I'm going to need my coworkers to get in the game, because let me tell you what Diddy's team is actually trying to do. Let me just read through all of this, okay? Baby, listen, first of all, and I said this before, don't let up on Diddy. Be loud, be out. I don't care how many celebrities come in like, yeah, be out, be loud, and let them know what you think. Because listen to this, right? They want time to clean up the narrative. The earlier that Diddy's team gets the pre-sentencing report, the more time they have to review it for anything damaging. And baby, it's a lot of damaging on there, especially references to uncharged conduct or language that paints Diddy as a predator. The uncharged conduct is all of the witnesses' statements, even the ones we didn't get to see, all the people that were subpoenaed, all of the affidavits, and what Mark Anthony, what Mark Agnifilo actually admitted in actual court to get Diddy off, okay? They can then strategically prepare, this is what they plan to do, strategically prepare rebuttals request revisions, or frame their own sentencing memo to neutralize the tone. That's why they're saying, you know what? You know what? Keep it October 3rd. The block is too hot. They need things to calm down. And all these bums and losers that are affiliated with Diddy, he is going to have to cut them dry. If anything, I think Diddy is going to try to do a love kumbaya tour with his kids, family man. Expect a lot. Well, he can't be ops with baby love, can he? But expect everybody around Diddy to be like, Daddy, I miss you. Daddy, I love you. Don't forget, all the kids are going to have to write stuff. Baby love is going to write in crayon, Daddy, love you. Come home to me. And the judge is going to be seeing it with tear stains on the paper, written in crayon with little fingerprints from when she was eating jam and bread. You already know that's what's hitting. But again, you guys, I will say this. Please be loud. Please be strong in what you are actually saying about Diddy. Don't let up. Every time you see a narrative, every time you see a fake thing, guess what? Diddy's team saved up, like Diddy once saved kittens from a fire. Shut up. Diddy probably started that fire. Anyway, right? There's also could be a stalling tactic wrapped up in urgency. By pretending to hurry the process along for the pre-sentencing report, the defense might be laying the groundwork to ask for more time on their end later, claiming they need additional time to respond to the problematic report. This is especially important if new victims come forward or sealed evidence gets unsealed between now and sentencing. Again, Diddy, and I know Diddy supporters are super happy that the jury sent a signal that beating somebody to a pulp doesn't matter if they lay down with you in bed. Okay? However, there is a lot of sealed testimony, a lot of sealed information. There is a lot of evidence that the jury didn't get to hear because Diddy's dream team, right? His dream team literally. Oh, also, I want to give a shout out to Shawty for sending that generous super chat. I'm going to do my best to read the super chats from last live. I know they just fell apart, right? But also, Real Mama Fifi, thank you so much for the super chat. Corporate Luxury said, we love you, Tisa, and the haters are on mute. Exactly. They are on mute. You guys also, I appreciate you guys going hard for me. Please ignore all the people talking. They are Diddy supporters. Half of them got their own DV cases. Half of them got their own DL boyfriends. And there's nothing wrong with being gay. You know, I'm a big advocate. It's the fact that they literally see themselves in Diddy because they are living that Diddy life. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, they're living that Diddy life. Again, being DL doesn't make you a woman abuser. They are demonic. But the same way I feel Diddy used that as an excuse to be demonic, I feel like they're using it too. So ignore them, ignore them, ignore them. All right, let's get back into this, right? Now, again, listen, if new victims come forward, okay, or they're, oh my God, hold on. Hello? Hello? Oh my God. I don't have time for this. Okay, so anyway, I don't have time for this. Let me get back on my live, right? Okay. Anyway, Amex is always calling me about some mess. Anyway, let's get into this, right? So this might be a stalling tactic. Also, they're trying to box the government in. The defense wants to lock the probation office into a calendar where the government only has a tight window to object by September 12th, and then must file sentencing memos by September 26th. It limits the Department of Justice flexibility to introduce new aggravating evidence or request upward departures in sentencing. Okay, let me just say this. I'm going to need the government to get it together. I'm going to need them to get it together. Y'all know I love Maureen Comey. We are co-workers. I told her that we are going to have a potluck. She is going to be in the potato salad, but I told her I better not see any raisins in there, Maureen. I'm just saying, you cool, we like you, but you look like you put raisins in your potato salad. That's all I'm saying, right? So I told and I want to tell my coworkers, because I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. Here's my employee ID. I want to tell my coworkers, y'all need to step it up. This is how they got outmaneuvered before. Diddy's trial, I was in there. There was so much off the record that the jury didn't hear because they were very good at like, oh, you can only say this. And then what they could do, it didn't make sense. This is a lot of people thing why people thought the case was just thrown because it didn't make sense. Moving forward, we are going to need my coworkers, the Southern District of New York, to step it up. We can't be doing this 1-2 step because Diddy's team got Brian Still over there doing the electric slide. And literally the prosecution is like, wait, do you go to the left? Do you go to the right? Meanwhile, they doing the cha-cha slide led by Xavier Westmoreland and Brian Still. I'm going to need them to step it up. That's what I'm going to need. And that's what they better give me. Somebody put Maureen Comey on the 1s and 2s. Also, there's something else that they might be doing. They might be preparing to frame Diddy as a misunderstood charitable icon. The pre-sentencing report includes everything: his background, his criminal history, and what they couldn't show in court, character references. So Diddy's going to get everyone to be like, oh my God, he's the sun and the moon. I know they're going to get Young Miami and Santana be like, I miss Diddy. You can walk back into the lion's den if you want, but I'll tell you one thing. There's also going to be a bunch of character references on the other side. All the people that couldn't testify, all the victims, all these people, they are going to be on the other side, and they are going to be going in on Diddy. And the judge gets to consider all of that, okay? Expect a full court PR campaign described as a legal document. Letters from charities. Even though as much as people say that Diddy was helping the Black community, can anyone name one person he ever gave a scholarship to? Because he was supposed to give it to Howard, but then I think Howard said he never gave it. What has Diddy actually done for the community except for give us Carisha Roulette, which is legalized freak-offs, and liquor? What? And Sean John. What has he ever done for the Black community? I get the fact that who he represents might have been good to the Black community, but now that we know he wasn't Barack Obama and the first president, besides literally pouring alcohol down people's throats and glorifying a debauch, what did he do for the community? I'm very confused. I don't know. At the next monthly African American I'm sorry, not African American. I'm ADLS with 4 Black parents, but it's the next Black monthly meeting. Because if you guys don't know, as Black people, we have monthly meetings. We even have people roving around screaming, "She's not Black! She's not Black!" Right? Again, at the next monthly African American Black. If you're a real Black American meeting, I am going to have to show my card, go in front of the review board. The process is they spritz me with water, and first they see if my edges curl up. If my edges curl up, then I am allowed to go to the next process. That is when anyway, right? So my whole point of the matter is, right? My whole point of the matter is, I'm very confused. What did he do for the Black community? Because I don't know, my side of the Black community, we haven't seen anything. It's a lot of talk, but that's it, right? Anyway, there's going to be letters from charities, employees, and friends saying he changed their lives while avoiding the fact that he destroyed others. But the other people are also going to have their day in court, and the judge is going to consider it all. Okay, this also shows Diddy knows what's coming, and it's not good. If the defense thought that the pre-sentencing report would help them, they wouldn't need to micromanage the schedule, and they would have rushed to have this earlier. The fact that they agreed to keep it in October said the urgency hints that they're worried about what the report might say and want time to strategize damage control. I know Mark Garagos and them says that they think that Diddy's only going to be up there for 1 year. I don't believe that. I actually think Judge Aaron, I'm praying he gives him 5 years for each charge, 10 years in court, and let and let justice take its toll. I hope he gives them 20 years, but I think 5 years for each charge might be good, considering the aggregating factors. This also could hint that they're weighing a sentencing appeal strategy already. Getting a pre-sentencing report early means they can prepare arguments not just for leniency, but for appellate level complaints if they feel the judge is too harsh. It's all about preemptively building the record for later court battles. Again, if they feel the judge is too harsh, I don't really think they have an avenue for appeal. I mean, they can appeal, but every legal professional I've talked to said that as long as he doesn't go over the maximum, he can go as high as he wants on that if he looks at aggregating factors. Again, the dream team got a demon off. People that will never have to sit around Diddy, people that will never invite Diddy to date their daughters, come around, people that would never let their children intern with Bad Boy. They got them off and they released them into our community. And there is a bunch of low life, not just the Black community, every community. And again, there's a bunch of low life trash that is applauding that because I don't know. Maybe they just have sad lives. I don't know. Honestly, I tried to get into it, but I don't at this point, I still cannot understand, unless you are an abuser, I don't understand why you would support Diddy, but the women that support Diddy, that's the part that really, that's the part, I feel like what happened is they feel like they lost at the patriarchy bingo, because patriarchy rewards beauty, rewards youth, and stupidity. You have to have all three. You can't be beautiful and young because you might be smart and they don't like you using your power. You can't be like, you have to be stupid, beautiful, and young. And if you are not all three of those, then patriarchy tells you as a woman that you don't matter. They tell you you don't matter. That's why they're always screaming at pretty girls, you need to learn to be more stupid. That's why they always trying to cheat young girls. You need to submit. And if you're anything, you have to be all three, right? You got to be stupid on top of all of it. That's the only time they reward you. But the thing is, you're too stupid to realize that they're not rewarding you. You're in a little prison. So I feel like the women, especially the older women, because when you're young and stupid, it's like you'll learn. But when somebody's old and stupid, it's like, what? And when I say stupid, I'm not talking about intelligence. I'm talking about critical thinking. I'm talking about like voting against your own interests. The point of the matter is, I feel like those women supporting Diddy, even the ones in the YouTube street acting a fool, I feel like you lost the patriarchal lottery, right? You're not young. You're not, and again, you must be stupid. You're not young, beautiful, and stupid. Again, maybe you lost the patriarchal lottery. So now that you're washed up and patriarchy tells you you don't matter, get away. Now the only way you can find yourself of use, and you think that use is the attention from these scumbag men that you seek to protect you because you've been brainwashed into thinking that you can't do anything for yourself. You now support the patriarchy because the same men are just like, get away. They'll let you come around so you can be their mammies. You can be their fools. You can be their mouthpieces. But the thing is, you then get upset because you do all this and the same women, these guys are still in DMs trying to talk, doing this, doing that. So the most you can hope to do is be a useful tool. They're Rottweiler with foaming at the mouth, protecting the patriarchy. But as soon as the patriarchy doesn't need you anymore, you're gone. And you think because they need you, it's somehow what? Male attention. They're now accepting you. You think you have a cheat code? No. The patriarchy only values women that are young, fertile, beautiful, but more importantly, stupid. Again, if you're young and you're smart, you're trash. You need to be beat down. You need to learn to submit. And these patriarchy aunties, grandmas, whatever you want to call them, mammies, come in, you need to submit, you're not a good woman, mama, because that's the only value they have for the patriarchy now, upholding it. And if you're beautiful, whether you're young or not, if you're beautiful, you must be dumb. You must be dumb. If you're not young, but you're beautiful, you must be if you're not young but you're beautiful, you must be stupid and you must have low self-esteem, because then they can exploit your beauty, because you're supposed to be worthless and washed up by the time you're 25 or 30. Again, these women support that too, even though most of these patriarchy aunties, they're not even young. Like, anyway, it's a devious thread, it's a devious circle. But again, patriarchy only works if you're young, dumb, and stupid, because they don't want you if you're intelligent. Yeah, that's your worst nightmare. If you're intelligent and beautiful, that's the patriarchy's worst nightmare. If you're young and you're not going to let these ninjas spin the block on you and all this, that's your worst nightmare. But again, I think that's why so many women are coming out for Diddy, because they see in patriarchy, they never believe a day when patriarchy won't rule. So they're trying to find a useful thing. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys, listen, I have to go. I have to go tape with a few news organizations. You'll see me on there tonight. I have to go tape, and I'm going to try to go on live later. If not, you guys are going to see a bunch of videos. Okay. It's going to be a heavy work day today. Mama is back at work, been by the pool, been picking my lemons, been minding my business. You see how good it does for the skin when you pick your lemons, mind your business, right? In any case, I got to go film with a few news organizations and Nancy, but I'm going to hit you guys back. I'll try to come back on live. If not, I'm going to throw a bunch of videos up. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, and also really quick, what am I doing? Ross7 Galley said, proud of you, Tisa. You know what it is, 100. Thank you. And Shawty, thank you so much for that super chat from last live. That was so generous of you. I appreciate it so much. And Kawasaki said, great job. Love the employee ID. And Paula Flores said, who's Maureen Comey's father? James B. Comey. That is true. Gabriella A., thank you so much for the super chat. But honestly, I'm going to need my coworkers at the SDNY to step things up. Next employee meeting, I'm marching in there, being like, y'all making me look bad, and I want to raise all my Scooby snacks. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be back on live in a little while, but there will be videos up. Mama got to go get to work. Okay, guys, talk to y'all later. Bye.